So two big thoughts. Mahomes may be the best quarterback in the NFL, or some would say Aaron Rodgers, the back-to-back MVP. Josh Allen's the most talented quarterback in the NFL. Much bigger than Rodgers and Mahomes. Runs much better than Rodgers and Mahomes. Much stronger than Rodgers and Mahomes. Because of his size, hasn't been hurt like Rodgers and Mahomes. He's a little wild at times. He takes big swings, but it's one of the things I really like about the young quarterbacks, Herbert and Burrow, Josh Allen. Sometimes I feel like the Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Rodgers, really good, but they kind of play safe. Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, they just let it rip. And that's why I find Josh Allen the most entertaining player in the league to watch. He's a little bit Cam Newton, but a much better thrower. He's a little bit Big Ben, but I think a better runner. I don't think we've ever seen anything like him. It reminds me of Giannis when he broke into the NBA. Giannis was not as polished as LeBron. He wasn't as great offensively as Kevin Durant. Couldn't shoot like Steph Curry. But about 4 years ago, when you would watch Giannis, like watching Josh Allen, you would go, oh, he's the most talented guy in the league. He can dominate at the rim. He can shoot. He can handle the ball. He can dominate in the offensive end. You can't stop him inside. And it just took a while for Giannis to develop some nuances, refine, sandpaper his game. And now he's the most dominant player in the league. It's no longer Durant or LeBron or Steph Curry. It's Giannis. And I feel watching Allen, he was easily the best player on a field with multiple Hall of Famers. So that's my first takeaway. And I feel with Josh Allen, when somebody's really great, they make other great players look pretty ordinary. You put Jordan on the floor with Charles Barkley, and he made Charles, one of the 15 best players I've ever seen, look kind of ordinary. How average did Matt Stafford look? He looked small. He looked reluctant. He couldn't avoid sacks. He couldn't push the ball down the field consistently. So, Allen looked like he was at a completely different jet stream than Stafford. So let's pivot now to Stafford. We heard it was a bad performance by the Rams. And when a team struggles offensively, it's usually two reasons. One of them, your offensive line's getting worked. So over the course of a season, you can correct a lot of your problems. For instance, Allen Robinson didn't do much. Well, Stafford missed some camp. Robinson is new. They'll be better down the line. Cam Akers, the running back, appears to be in the doghouse. He didn't play. He probably will as the season progresses. OBJ will come back. Stafford will have better nights. But the problem with the offensive line, I said this all week on FS1 and Fox Sports Radio, is Andrew Whitworth is going to get Hall of Fame votes. And the backup to Whitworth is capable, but he's not elite. And boy, did you see that. Now, there's not a lot of Von Millers in the NFL. That's about as good a rush end as he'll face. He will face a Bosa a couple of times with the Niners. And the Bills can rotate 8 to 9 defensive linemen. They're the deepest defensive front in the league. So that's about as good a defensive front and as good as an edge rusher as the Rams' Noteboom, the left tackle, replacing Andrew Whitworth, will face all year. Not a lot of Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays are going to look like that. That said, a lot of the Rams' issues, timing between Stafford and Robinson, the availability of Cam Akers, those are correctable. If you're not great at left tackle, nobody's giving you one in the middle of a season. Now, maybe you get to the trading deadline and a team with a good left tackle says, we'll give them to you, give us some draft picks. And maybe the Rams say, listen, we got to get better at left tackle. But that is a position, there's a reason that the Niners went out and paid a fortune for a left tackle. Miami Dolphins went to the Saints and paid a fortune for a left tackle. When you have a quarterback like a Garoppolo, not overly mobile, or a Stafford, a Tua, boy, that left tackle is important. And you could really see all night long. Their center's fine. Their right tackle's fine. Rams aren't very good right now at left tackle. They're capable. And again, Buffalo is so loaded on the defensive front. It was a turnstile. I mean, Von Miller really had his way. And so that's part of the problems. And I'm not sure how correctable it is. Do you wait to the trading deadline? Do you cross your fingers you don't face Buffalo again? Listen, I had the Bills beating the Rams in the Super Bowl. So, these are really elite teams. But I thought all the problems started with the Rams O-line. Gave up, 6-7 sacks. Stafford at the end had his third interception. It all starts there. Now, we heard about Stafford's elbow offseason. It was sore. It was also sore last year. Did the Rams downplay the incident? Stafford just did not throw the ball down the field. Now, there's no OBJ. Allen Robinson's not really a deep threat. Cooper Kupp is occasionally. But as good as Les Snead is as a GM, a couple years ago, second round, his first pick was Tutu Atwell, the wide receiver, Ole Miss. He's been a bust. And Les Snead does not have a lot of busts. But he's small. I've been told he's kind of immature. He's not ready to play. He's not dependable. Stafford doesn't really trust him. They really need an over-the-top component. That's why they reached for him in the second round. Tiny guy, weighed 174 out of college. It's why they reached for him. They felt Cooper Kupp could give them the intermediates. Van Jefferson could give them intermediates. Robert Woods, similar. They didn't have an over-the-top vertical threat. Atwell looks like a bust. So that's why you probably stick around with OBJ. Like when I watched tonight, my takeaway was, all right, I'm not moving OBJ. That's $7.5 million having cap space. I'm giving it to OBJ. Now, he may not play till November. But the overwhelming takeaway is Josh Allen was easily the best player on the field. The Rams' offensive line was easily the weakest unit on the field. Ball game.